Hello and welcome to a tanking guide for Halondrus the Reclaimer. This guide is meant for tanks and therefore ignores mechanics that do not impact the tanks at all. The first mechanic to mention is ephemeral modes, which the entire raid will be dealing with throughout the fight. These modes cannot hit the boss, as this will result in a raid-wide damage over time debuff, which will cause you to wipe. If you see them coming close to the boss, simply run into them to knock them back. The next mechanic, and the core mechanic of this fight for tanks, is the Light Shatter Beam. The beam will cast on the person tanking the boss when the cast starts, so it's important that your tank swap fast to avoid the same tank getting hit twice, as this will be an almost guaranteed death. I found taunting when the cast begins is the safe way to go. Don't be afraid of the boss going taunt immune, as this has been disabled for this boss. On heroic, some of the mode spawning is going to be encased in a shield, preventing players from knocking them away. You can see which modes will get the shield simply by watching the colors of the swirlies when they spawn. The ones with the grey swirly will have a shield. This shield should be broken as fast as possible by hitting them with the Light Shatter Beam. Since you will have to be moving all over the place to hit the orbs and knock modes, we established the rule that when the beam goes out, the tank stop moving or moves very little to correct the beam to hit a shield, and DPS and healers make sure to move out of it. Do not move with the beam in the last second, as this will make it very hard for your raid members to react. The last mechanic is Earthbreaker missiles. When your raid splits out, start planning where you're gonna run to, and try to have it be so that you can continue with your rotation on the boss. You should pop a cooldown here if it overlaps with a beam or if you need to soak the aftershock. The last thing to cover is the intermission. The boss will continue hitting the tank with its ranged attack Lance during the run. It does medium damage, but as all your healers are moving and the raid is taking damage, you will likely not be receiving much healing during this phase. I recommend using your cooldowns if you ever feel like you're taking too heavy damage, or if you're tanking when the Earthbreaker missiles or shatter happens, since your healers will be occupied on healing the raid up. Worst case, you can call in your core tank to taunt, as they will likely have the defensives up, giving you some time to recover. Also be careful to not get knocked off by the shatter. So, to sum this boss up, knock modes back if they ever come close to the boss, tank swap every light shatter beam, use defensives if the light shatter beam overlaps with other mechanics, and use any unused defensives in the intermission to make it easier for yourself and your healers. That is pretty much it for Halondrus. Best of luck with him. If you liked the video or have any suggestions for improvement or things you want to see, please let me know in the comments below.